Alright, she's leaking again. Never really stopped, honestly. I think it's always been leaking from that spot. It's just gotten worse. It is probably one of the main feed lines. It's the only thing over there. I'm going to crawl under the tractor and have a look. Alright, let's see what we can do here. On the floor, we're still having, I guess I can't see it. Pretty big leak over here, still. There's a little leak right here, and it's dripping right from this little U here. So I don't think it's actually coming from that hose. I think it's just dripping off of there. But if you follow the majority of the leak back, it comes down this big hose, which I think is the return pipe, which comes down off the loader valve. So what, it comes out of the back gear pump here, shoots off to the backhoe valve. It has its own return coming up here and a line that loops through up to the loader valve, and then its return comes back to this T. So that's what we're gonna do, is just replace all those for our next video. I'm tired of this oil on my dang floor. Okay, so yep, that's what's going on under there. I really wanted to power wash all of this before I had to do something like this, but it just is what it is. Don't know if you guys can see here. So the real trick is to get this off of there. I actually think I had to unscrew the whole barb last time. So why don't I just do that again? Oh, you know what? Let's let it spin. Let me find my wrench. All right, close this thing. All right, so now that that one is loose, I think I can do that. Yeah. Let's see, it just goes all over the top of that hose right there. Can I like put something there to convince it not to go on? That works. It's actually missing the frame this time, I guess because I don't have it tilted at a weird angle. The oil looks pretty good. I'm hoping I can reuse it. I really am. Alright, this thing down here, something I didn't take out last time. It's the strainer. I really want to know what that looks like. Okay, let's see. Don't know if I have a wrench that will do this. This strainer does not want to come loose. I don't want to hurt my hand. I'll be honest. For the sake of oil not getting all over the place, let's just let it sit for now. Alright, I picked up this chonker of a ratchet socket. It's a 1 7/8, but I think a 1 13/16 would be better. This is pretty loose on there. I actually took some calipers and I measured at the store which one would fit that better, and then I walked out with the wrong one because I do that a lot. But it was able to free it up. I had to get an extra. What would you call it? A little bit of PVC pipe to give me some extension. And I had to get an adapter for this because it's a 3/4 driver. Alright, let's see what we got here. Yellow implies to me she's never moved. Ooh, it's big. Wow, that's really long. Come on, you. Woo! Look at all that metal fragments going for my clean oil. I gotta do something about this. Yeah, so I pulled this thing out, which is a strainer, and my oh my, was it ever full of something. A lot of metal shavings in here. Why? I guess, I don't know, but I'm glad that this thing prevents them from going through the hydraulic system, huh? So the oil's drained into the cardboard a bit, and you can see there's just all this metal flake in there that I guess that strainer's been stopping for a couple years now. I clogged it up with a towel because this was about to overflow. I'm gonna secure this and get rid of it. I just soaped it, and then I have flushed it. And most of the stuff's at the top. There we go. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, you can see in there really good now. Before you could barely see the internal support lattice, but now you can see in there pretty good. So I think we flushed a lot of that stuff out, and I barely see any little flecks of metal up in here. There's still some, but they're like really in there. And I'm not gonna try and mess up this mesh by really prying them out. I'll probably go out with a toothpick a little bit more and see if we can just get those little flecks out of there. Alright, it's about as cleaned up as I think I can get it. Some of those pieces of metal are really stuck in the mesh and not really wanting to come out, and like I said, I don't really want to damage it. But we've got the majority of this screen cleaned up, and it's wet, so I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll put it back in there. Okay, I've been thinking about it, and this oil is kind of dark, and we've got some stuff in there. We don't know what the previous owner did as far as like keeping the hydraulic oil, where we want it to be. So what we're going to do is just call this a flush. $50 now could save us, even though I don't want to spend any more money on this right now. I really just want to get to using it. $50 now could save us a lot on replacing a pump, parts of the pump. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that to try and flush the rest of this stuff out of this tank. Okay, so while that is working, we're getting a lot of the junk back in it. So I'm hoping we can go ahead and okay, that should strain out. We've got a pretty good portion of oil back here. So I'm going to let that sit and strain. Okay, I went ahead and pumped it through this other little piece of hose I had, and you can see it's gushing out of there pretty good now. I think I'm going to repeat that process a few times, see if we can, convince all the metal shavings and goo in there to come out. And then I think we're going to throw it into the, back into a 5-gallon bucket to take it to the dump or something. I use it for chainsaw oil, but I have enough for that. That's a pretty cool effect, huh? I'm a fan of this oil getting everywhere. I'm really hoping after this we don't have to deal with this anymore. It just gets everywhere. It's on my seat. I gotta get that off of there. I don't know if you can see, it's collected a lot of junk down in there. Just a bunch of junk at the very bottom there. I'll dump it out later, I guess, and investigate. All right, I've pumped it about 4 times through the strainer, into the bucket, back into that. Oil's getting everywhere. It's really annoying because I just cleaned all this, but it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. It's worth the effort to get all the junk out of it. As you can see, there's a lot of junk. I don't know what it is. I don't know if the oil is just full of air bubbles or what, but towards this time on this flush, the stuff at the top was really, really bad. And you could see in this clear hose when it changed, so I stopped and left that down here at the bottom. It looks like it's pretty good color coming out of there now. It's like actually like translucent now, so hopefully we sifted out a lot of the junk, flushed a lot of the junk out of the tank. I'm just gonna let all the oil drip and settle, and then we'll come back and see what we got. And I'm gonna put the strainer back in once it's all done doing its thing. Because I'll put this cap on before I forget to. All right, so actually, post office came through. The new filter's here, which is great because I gotta get this guy going for the snowstorm that's coming. Oh man, I can't get that thing. All right, let me get a wrench. Has anyone ever had any luck with these wrenches? Just don't seem to really be able to do what you need ever. Oh, wow. Just bending it. Oh, well, we got it off, so that's cool. But man, did it just bend it. Just crushed it right in. I don't like that thing. I think it's a waste of money. Oh, wow, and I can't. Oh, there we go. One goes off, one goes on. All right. Oh, something's wrong. So I guess because I took those T's off down there, the filter was not full. All right, what's it say to do? Hand tighten an extra quarter turn. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't have a wrench that won't destroy it. I feel like I'm crushing it with my hands anyway, either. All right, hopefully that's good enough.